Hey, everybody, welcome to a new season of Rev's Hot Stove Weekly presented by Shipley Energy. Daryl Henry coming to you live from our WOYK studios, and Rick Forney coming to you live from where, Rick?
My house, my office, looking out my front window in lovely Adamstown, Maryland.
You'll have to give us, I should clear this with you ahead of time, so maybe not today, but one of these shows, you should give us a little tour of your office.
Here, I'll give you one right now.
Right now, this is for the
Yeah,
video people,
yeah. There
of
you go.
course.
How about that? That's my TV there.
Is that a video game system I see over there?
You know it. Yeah. You like
Look
my
at
barn
that.
doors? Yeah.
I do. That is
Yeah,
nice.
this is my I gotta share this with Erica. It's our office, not mine.
Okay. I have a feeling she did the decor, but
She did a lot of work, yes.
yeah.
She's made
Um,
this a lovely home.
that's great radio for the people that are only listening to this. but but it is a
Well, on
new
the other side of the barn doors used to be her office, but we've closed those doors. She bought a treadmill and the dog crates in there, so she's moved in with me.
okay. One of these days you'll have to give us a tour of the facility that you built on your
Oh,
property.
I
I want
guess
to
we
see
could do
that.
that. Yeah, I could walk you guys down there one time. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet doesn't work real good, so we may lose connection in there. There's metal buildings, it's hard to kind of stay connected. Like my internet down there kind of comes and goes. And my um, Starlink, I have Starlink here, so it's literally like 25 feet from that building and it still loses connection in there.
Funny, sometimes our internet at WOYK takes a dump too. So
Yeah, no matter what you pay for, there's always going to be some stress.
that's true. Well, for those of you that are not aware, we'll do this show as we always have every Monday at 6 on radio, 98.9 FM, 1350 AM. That's the same. You can catch the audio archive after the fact on 98.9WOYK.com. But new this year is our kind of revamped, souped up video focus, and obviously coming before opening day will be Home Team Network. And at that point, all these shows will be there. Once people are able to sign up and use all those features. But for now, to get everybody used to the video aspect that we're going to be doing much more of this year, we have these podcasts, if you will, on the York Revolution YouTube channel for now. So, Rick, you're looking good. And you're not, I know last year we did a lot of these shows when you were like scaling Mount Frederick or whatever. You're not doing that today.
Not
So,
today. My walking path is still covered with snow. So I was doing really great with my walking. Actually, Derek and I, we started the season really good with walking. Then we had a bad spell and shut it down for a while. Walked a lot towards the end of the year, and I just kept walking all fall. I was walking 5 to 8 miles a day and really in a good place. But right around week before Christmas, when it got cold, it puts an end to it for me. And with the snow, it hasn't gone anywhere. And when it's 5 degrees outside, I'm not walking in the morning. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit. I think the weather's going to warm up next week and hopefully some of those walking paths will clear off and then I can get back after it. But yeah, it's doing good for a while and I don't eat as bad as I eat in the summertime. So trying to lose some weight, Daryl, live a little bit longer.
that's good. I'm there with you. Been spending a lot of time in the gym this off season, enjoying that. But yeah, I can't convince the dogs to go out to do their
Yeah,
business now because it's so freaking cold. So
it is. I don't mind walking if it's 30 degrees. It's not that bad, but it's 5 degrees, a little different animal. I'm not going out there in that. I'll just have to wait a couple weeks and
mm,
we'll be fine.
that's Winnipeg cold right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's close to it where you got to plug your car. You're never sure if you're going to be able to start your car the next morning.
Oh, what a comforting feeling. Well, what's when did you start to? I mean, I ask you this question every year, but coming off a championship, when do you start to think about when do the gears start to turn for 2026?
Usually in December sometime. Honestly, I was tired this year. Like last year, I was tired. This year, I was just kind of worn out. And um, would we end at first or second of October? Probably about November 1st. I started feeling pretty good again, like I was rested. And but when that minor league free agent list comes out, like that first week of November, you start working through some of that stuff. Just um, I didn't go at it as hard as I usually do initially. Like I'll work through that in a 2 day period. I was kind of doing it over a 2 week period, just in small increments, and um, not really feeling that sense of urgency to get it all in 2 days and start pressing forward, because it's just different times. You just don't get much accomplished, and so I kind of took my time working through that list and kind of figuring out who's who and who might possibly be available. But usually in December, I start picking up pace a little bit. There's a couple pro day workouts that I try to get to in January to look at some players, and but after the first of the year, I start working it pretty hard. Just it's slow, and it's slow for everybody, but that's what makes it so fun. You keep grinding on it.
Yeah. You'll be proud of me. During the Super Bowl last night, which I had very little interest in, I spent almost the whole time working on the media guide.
Well, you want to know the truth? I didn't even watch the second half of the Super Bowl. I wasn't really interested either.
Yeah, it didn't really move the needle for me. But peel back the curtain a little bit. We're going to announce two players today, one returning, one new. What does the behind the scenes roster look like for you at this point?
We're gonna have some new friends. It looks like a lot of our guys have been signed either to affiliated ball or Mexico. Cam Robinson was signed right before Christmas by the Rays. Brendan Salucci was signed like 2 weeks ago by the Blue Jays, and Will Simonite was actually signed by the Blue Jays last week, which was kind of a late signing. Which we're extremely happy for all of these guys. Obviously, they're playing Atlantic League Baseball, looking to um, advance their career a little bit. Fontana, Miles Symington, Arocho, who just played in the Caribbean World Series with the Puerto Rican team, Jeffrey Whaler, Jalen Miller, Frankie Tostado, Chris Williams, um, Mika Lalchak. Pardon me, I'm trying to think about Mike Kickham. A lot of them have contracts in Mexico so far, so doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of returning faces. Some, but um, when you have good players that are doing some good things, there's some opportunities to advance their careers and make a little bit more money, and um, we're happy that those guys are getting that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's we got some new faces signed that we like, that are athletic, and I think they'll come here and play hard. They know what the expectation is and our standard, and it's not going to change even with new people. But um, yeah, looks like we're going to have some new folks.
Maybe a few of those guys end up back at some point. I mean, obviously we root for them to go there and do well and not have
Yeah,
that decision to make, but this isn't all that unlike what you've dealt with the last 2 years, right? Pretty
yeah,
similar.
similar stuff. I mean, some of them are very much kind of going to have to go down there and make some teams in training camp in Mexico. I don't think there's anything guaranteed for some of these guys, but also they'll remain on our protected list. So as the season gets a little bit deeper, they may be options to join our roster when their season is completed in Mexico. You know how it is in late August or September. Some roster upgrades may be needed if you're trying to make a push, and they could be available to us then.
All right. Well, you mentioned Cam Robinson going to the Tampa Bay Rays. We actually did an interview with him about a month ago. Had Alan, one of our behind the scenes research gurus, was doing a project on Cam's cutter, and what makes it so special from an analytical standpoint. So we did a long interview with him that'll be posted, and I think we'll share some of that interview on Hot Stove next week. But this week, Rick, wanted to catch up with you, get a lay of
I'm
the
on
land.
I'm on a Zoom here with Daryl. Sorry, honey. Close. Can you close that door? How's
Oh
that for
no.
content?
Oh no. Am
It's
I
real
on
life.
am I on Mrs. Forney's bad side for scheduling this morning?
No, no, we're
Okay.
good.
All right. Uh, but as far as this week's show goes, wanted to catch up with you, get the lay of the land, and then get to our first two player signings. So we'll do that. We'll take a quick break here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. And Rick's got a fan favorite returner for us when we come back. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Rick Forney with us. We are just shooting the breeze and catching up in segment one to break the ice. But now it's time to get to content and the moment the Revs fans have all been waiting for, the first player signing of 2026. Rick, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, we've agreed to terms with outfielder Tomo Odasaka for the 26th season, and really, really excited about it. Caught me off guard, to be honest with you. He emailed me back in like October. I had no idea. It was kind of a vague email, just asked me if I was looking for an outfielder. And I said, well, I'm not looking for anything right now, but it's probably something that I'll need here moving forward. I thought he was going to kind of maybe pass along a name of a friend or something like that. But uh, he said, I want to come back to York. I love playing there, which it caught me off guard because when he was signed by the Mariners last year, we were super excited for him to get this opportunity. That's why he came to the Atlantic League in the first place to try to get to affiliated ball for the first time. And it didn't work out. And when he got released, I called him and asked him if he wanted to come back to York after his release. And he decided to go home to Japan. So I just kind of felt like maybe he closed the door on that chapter of his career. But um, glad that he wants to come back. Glad he enjoyed it there. I mean, he's been really good for us when we've had him. It was a unbelievable start to the season last year. 9 games, just hitting for average, getting on base, scoring runs, driving runs, stealing base. He was just doing everything. Got off to a great start and really earned that opportunity with the Mariners. Just unfortunately for him, I don't even know why they signed him. They didn't even play him, and so it didn't end up working out.
When he went back home to Japan, some of that time was in their big leagues again, correct?
I believe so. I think he
Yeah.
bounced around a little bit. I don't know how much he played, but um, yeah, I
What
guess there was an opportunity for him to go home and still play, so he took that.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have a minor and a major over there. He was with Yomiuri and the Giants, and I believe some of that time was in their big leagues again. But
Yeah, I'm
um,
not sure which one is the big leagues though over there. I don't know how you tell them. It's still a little confusing to me on how that part works. But um, would that be the JPCL? Would be the big leagues?
I believe so, yeah, and I believe the EL is the minor leagues. So it looks to me
I
like
got you.
I think he had five big league games over there before the season was over, which is really
Yeah,
cool to go from here to those big leagues.
I'd love to go over there and watch that one time. I'd love to go to Japan. I've
Yeah,
been wanting to go to Japan for like 10 years now, and he's really given me a reason to go over there.
I believe I've overheard him try to talk you into making a trip.
Yeah, he tried. I mean, there was a couple players that were interested in maybe coming over here, and um, they were trying to get me to come to put together some kind of like a tryout camp type situation. But um, Tomo has an American father, so he's got a U.S. passport and doesn't require a visa. And everybody else, unfortunately, would require a visa. And I just don't feel like we're going to get involved in the visa situations moving forward. It did, especially after last year, it didn't really work out for us.
Yeah, that was a waste of time last year, unfortunately. But
Yeah, there were some good players on it, and we actually submitted our visas earlier than we usually do, and every time we'd call to check up, it was still processing. And then I guess Josh got notification in September, like the first week of September, that the visas were approved. And then once you get visas approved, there's still like another 2 week period of trying to get an appointment down there to get your fingerprints and all that other stuff done. So it's just unless you're willing to expedite visas, you can't even really get involved. And to expedite visas, I think the cost is like 2,500 to $3,000 per player. So it gets very costly, and you're just better off as an independent team sign a
Yeah.
domestic product.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, and I hope you don't uh, mind that I did this. I went to a fan club lunch back in December and I threw a little morsel at them and I said, "You got to promise me that you don't put this on Facebook. Rick might get mad, but our first guy is going to be Tomo." And he had signed his contract by then.
So
So
did somebody else spill the beans?
no, they were great. They were, but like 20 people knew already.
How did
So
they know?
I told them I was at their lunch.
Oh,
Yeah, I wanted
I
to give
thought
them
you maybe
something.
thought maybe Josh spilled the beans. Where was lunch at this year?
Haas's,
Oh, baby, French onion
same
soup.
one. I did not, but I thought of you. Yeah.
You should have got it. There's a
I
lot of
know.
good fortune in that French onion soup there.
Fortune, huh?
Yeah, when things start going bad, you head to Hoss's and get that French onion soup, and then it turns for the better.
You and Wolfie. You
Wolfie don't eat the French onion. He eats everything else, just not the French onion.
okay. Let me see if you remember. Where did we eat the day of the championship winner last year in High Point?
The hog trough.
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, great place for lunch. Can you beat it? I mean, it costs less than going to Arby's,
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Do you think people know what we're talking about when we say the hog trough?
I don't think so.
Golden Corral.
One of our favorites.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, one of the neat things about partner league baseball and building a team is some of the kind of the way that these relationships work as far as bringing players in, right? And
Yeah,
with Tomo, he's an interesting case. I don't think he needs to come here to make a whole lot of money necessarily because of some of his other business ventures. He just likes being here and playing
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, he likes it in York. He likes the ballpark. He likes the area, just being close to the ballpark where he lives. Um, he likes me and Wolfie, and um, he's obviously, like you said, in a different situation financially. He's got other ways of creating some income. He made some money when he played in the big leagues, but he does other things to help sustain himself. So he's not really relying on a salary over here. And I think he's probably getting to the point where he's just kind of playing over here because he enjoys it.
Well, right now he's 31 years old and or 32 actually turned 32 last month, but
He'll
he
still
will
be a
enter.
problem. He'll
Oh
still be a
yeah,
problem for some people.
oh yeah, and he was in his 9 games here last year.
Yeah.
In fact, he homered. I think in the second game of the year. I thought we had maybe our own little Shohei on our hands here.
I don't like when he homers, but I love when he drops that bunt down with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Well, he
There's no
will
defending
enter.
that.
No, it's almost indefensible. He will enter this season as our career on base percentage leader at 446.
No
And we
kidding.
kind of a lot of guys are only here for 1 year. So way back in the day, we set the minimum for the career rankings to basically be the minimum number of plate appearances for one season. So, but for a guy that's been here for at least a year, he is our all-time leader in on-base percentage. And uh, do you think he'll be in spot number one on that lineup card opening day?
I don't know. Maybe I should reach out to Southern Maryland and ask Keith where he should be batting in the lineup. He would probably tell me. I don't know. We'll see where Tomo hits in the lineup. I mean, I mean, he's a good fit to hit it in a lot of places in your lineup, to be honest with you, for many different reasons. But I would say he's probably going to hit first or second because you want that guy that gets on base and can run and score runs for you to, get 5 at bats a night for you.
Well, I have 2 months to fix his bike because he left it here, and I was riding it around the trails in October and came up with a flat.
Popping wheelies,
Yeah, I was doing some tricks, out on the
nice,
rail trail.
nice. Did
Yeah.
you build a ramp
So,
out there, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite?
yeah, I was showing off. There's
Nice.
some spots where there's sort of a built-in ramp almost. So,
Right, doing a little freestyle when you got some airtime.
yeah, yeah, BMX DH.
Maybe we should get a GoPro on you, and we can put the league content, get some league content right there.
They are looking for league content, which is why we're on video.
And
And
it
I
was some
just
good league contact. You should put a GoPro on me and Wolfie when we're walking around York for 2 hours and talking about the things we talk about every day.
I don't want to listen to the huffing and puffing for
There's a little bit of that, like the first 10 minutes, but once Wolfie and I get through the first 10 minutes, we're pretty good.
Okay. Well, I just got the alert that our Zoom meeting's going to end in 10 minutes, so we better take a
Ah,
break and
yeah,
get
I
to.
think someone wants to vacuum in my office too.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, we're holding up progress here.
Sorry, Erica. We'll wrap it up. We'll get to our final segment and our second player signing of the week after this here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Season premiere, Tomo Odasaka is the first player signing. And Rick, our second one this week, new guy, new blood, exciting name. He's had a heck of a couple of seasons coming into this year. Who do we have next?
Yeah, we've signed first baseman outfielder Jacob Teeter, big left-handed power hitter, really good defender. Played the last couple years in the American Association. Spent a little bit of time in Mexico. Didn't work out for him there. Um, a little bit in Australia, but big left-handed power hitter. Was with the Orioles organization, signed by the Astros. I was trying to sign him 2 years ago and wasn't able to get him, but he's actually kind of stayed in contact with me over the last couple of years. He reached out to me in the middle of the summer last year and just kind of stayed in contact, and we're glad we're able to get it together this year because I always can't you can't have enough impact middle of the lineup left-handed bats, and he's going to provide you some power. He's also going to give you a good AB and has a good on base percentage, and seems to be a relatively good RBI guy in partner league baseball. So he's going to kind of be a guy that's going to hit third or fourth or fifth in our lineup, and we have some big expectations for Jacob.
Yeah, it's awesome. The guy is 6'5", so he is big. And 27 years old. He was a 13th round pick of the Orioles in 2021, which was out of Florida Southern College. That's a Division II school. And you know who his teammate was his freshman year there?
I'm not sure.
JT Henson was his college
No kid.
teammate. Yeah,
No kid.
they both had unbelievable college careers for that program. Lance Necro was his head coach there, but drafted by the Orioles, 3 years in their system, got to Double-A Bowie, brief stint in the Astros system, and then Rick, he goes to your old league with the Chicago Dogs in 2024, and all he did was become the American Association Player of the Year. He led the league in hitting at 349, led the league in RBIs with a Dogs record 95, led the league in on base and slugging, 28 home runs, one off the league lead. And that got him an opportunity in Mexico to start last year. Came back to Chicago, was an all-star again. So when you say that he's been a really good partner league hitter, I mean, he has been spectacular in his time there.
Yeah, he has. Chicago's a very offensive park, but you don't play every game in Chicago, and the batting averages, the on base percentages. I mean, unbelievable season in 24, walking 84 times and only striking out 76 times. Just Yeah, it tells you he gives you some good pro at bats and was super productive um, with his time in the American Association, and I expect the same here. I don't think there's going to be any drop off. Um, there's some offensive parks in our league, especially for some left-handed hitters with some power to the pull side of the field. But um, yeah, I think he's a fine addition, and obviously knowing that there's Kyle Martin's not going to be back, Tostado's not going to be back. You want to try to plug someone in at first base and from the left side that can kind of give you similar production, and we feel like Jacob's going to be able to do that.
Kyle Martin's playing for those bananas, isn't he?
Sure is. Yeah, really caught me off guard. I mean, I've known Kyle for a long time here, and I really thought he was done, just had enough, and was going to move on. He's mechanical engineering degree, he don't need baseball anymore, and guess just kind of got tired of the thing in Mexico. I mean, he just walked away from a lot of money in Mexico, playing pretty much year round down there. Just talking to him last year after we won, just hanging out with his dad and him. Eric and I were smoking cigarettes and drinking beers and celebrating. It just talking to him, it sounded like he was done. He told me he was done, and then he decided to go give this a try and see what happens. And got selected on one of those teams. They pay really well, so maybe one more summer in the sun having some fun.
Well, Jacob Teeter sounds like an awesome plug-in in that spot. So, Rick, great first show. Tomo Odasaka, Jacob Teeter. We do have a couple returners in the weeks ahead, at least for now, maybe more later, but a lot of new names that you and I have discussed, and pretty excited to see what's ahead here in 2026.
Yeah, it should be pretty busy moving forward here. At least I'm hoping it is. And I think once minor league spring training start, then things will start to pick up on my end and some of the conversations that I'm going to have with some of these agents because they usually have a handful of guys that they're willing to discuss at that time that they don't really want to waste time talking about right now. So hopefully it all starts to come together.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time as always. You look great
Thanks, buddy.
and look forward to seeing you next week.
We'll do it. Talk to you then.
All right, Rick. Thank you.
Revolution!